Hi. So happy to see everyone. Hey, Mom. Thanks for joining. Arctic Fox, of course, the second coming. What are you saying? Yeah, it's all right. I'm not worried about it. He's got his own thing going over there. He's got to do what he's got to do, and I'll do what I got to do. It's hard to not step on toes out here. Hi, Kimber. Hi, Paula. Thank you for joining, pretty lady. I still can't comment on your shorts each morning, but I do watch them. I promise. Uh, I don't think I have many in here. Okay, well, it looks like it's gonna be a party of 5 or 6. That's alright. That's okay. I don't care. What do we got? Like 2? It's alright. As long as somebody will listen to me, I'll keep talking. Alright, so today, it's a little bit different because I, uh, I wanna go over Bianca Piper. If I can move myself out of the way here and you can actually there we go. Bianca is dear to my heart. She went missing in 2005. She was a little special needs, meaning that she was bipolar, or she is bipolar. It's been, oh my goodness, 20 years now, but I want to believe that she's living her best life. But yes, this is Miss Bianca Piper, and we're going to kind of go through her story. I she's so dear to me because you have to remember, after 20 years of my past work, she was one of them. And when that happens, they are always a part of your heart, and you hold that face dear to you, and every child you see a little bit of Bianca in. Well, this one right here is the one that's I started out with. So what I did is, of course, I made a video because I wanna make sure that everything is factual and that Bianca stays out there, and because she stays with me daily. So I'll play this little video and then I'll read to you some like everything that happened through there and what the news says and all of that stuff. So I will hush it up. Oh, hi, Farq. Thank you. I love that, Farq. Thank you for joining, Farq. Hey, James. Thank you for joining. So happy to see you guys. Thank you, Chris, for showing up. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. All right, I'll play this video about Bianca and then I'll read into it for you guys.
Bianca Noel. Piper was born on December 26, 1991. She was a bright and energetic child who loved animals and dreamed of becoming a veterinarian. Bianca grew up in Foley, Missouri. Life wasn't always easy for Bianca. She faced challenges, struggling with ADHD and severe bipolar disorder. These conditions required daily medication and regular therapy. Despite these hurdles, Bianca remained a loving daughter and sister, known for her infectious laugh and kind heart. Bianca attended school and tried to navigate the ups and downs of adolescence like any other teenager. She enjoyed spending time with her friends and family, finding solace in their company. Behind her bright smile, Bianca fought a daily battle with her mental health. Her family tried their best to support her, seeking the best medical help available. Despite the challenges she faced, Bianca remained a beacon of hope and resilience. Her story is a reminder that behind every missing person's case lies a life filled with dreams, aspirations, and loved ones who desperately seek answers. Bianca's disappearance left a void in the lives of those who knew and loved her. The mystery surrounding her vanishing continues to haunt the small community of Foley and beyond. It serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of young people and the importance of seeking justice for those who have been silenced. Bianca's story is a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unwavering determination of those who refuse to let her memory fade away. The vanishing March 10, 2005. March 10, 2005 started like any other day for Bianca Piper. She woke up, got ready for school, and went about her usual routine. However, fate had a cruel twist in store for the 13-year-old. As evening approached, a dispute arose between Bianca and her mother about household chores, specifically washing the dishes. This seemingly insignificant argument would become a haunting detail in the events that unfolded. Around 6:15 p.m., Bianca's mother dropped her off at McIntosh Hill Road. This was about a mile from their home. It wasn't unusual. The drop-off was part of a therapeutic exercise for Bianca. Little did her mother know that this would be the last time she would ever see her daughter. The weather was turning treacherous. Snow began to fall, blanketing the area in a white veil. Bianca was last seen wearing a lime green blouse, gray Adidas hooded sweatshirt, blue jeans, and white tennis sneakers. She also had a flashlight with her, a small comfort in the encroaching darkness. Hours passed, and Bianca did not return home. Concern quickly turned to panic. At 8:20 p.m., her family reported her missing, their hearts pounding with fear and uncertainty. The search for Bianca Piper had begun, but as darkness fell and the snow continued to fall, so did the shadows of doubt and despair. Searching for clues, the initial investigation. News of Bianca's disappearance spread through Foley like wildfire. The tight-knit community was in shock. A young girl had vanished without a trace, and fear gripped the hearts of parents and children alike. Law enforcement sprang into action, launching a full-scale investigation. Search parties were organized, combing through the wooded areas and snow-covered fields surrounding McIntosh Hill Road. The initial assumption, given Bianca's mental health history, was that she might have wandered off or become disoriented due to the weather. However, as hours turned into days, and days into weeks, the possibility of a more sinister scenario began to take hold. Investigators meticulously interviewed family members, friends, classmates, and anyone who might have had contact with Bianca in the days leading up to her disappearance. The investigation extended beyond Foley, with law enforcement agencies from surrounding counties joining the search. Flyers bearing Bianca's smiling face were plastered on telephone poles, storefronts, and car windows throughout the region. The case garnered media attention, with local and national news outlets covering the story extensively. Despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering support of the community, Bianca remained missing. The investigation continued, but the trail was growing colder with each passing day. The mystery of Bianca Piper's disappearance deepened, leaving more questions than answers. Shadows of doubt, family scrutiny, and public speculation. As the investigation into Bianca Piper's disappearance intensified, scrutiny naturally fell upon those closest to her family. Law enforcement officials conducted thorough interviews with Bianca's mother and her live-in boyfriend, hoping to uncover any leads or inconsistencies that might shed light on her whereabouts. Both individuals maintained their innocence, cooperating fully with the investigation. Polygraph tests were administered to both Bianca's mother and her boyfriend, and both passed. Bianca's biological father was also interviewed, but he was not considered a suspect. Despite the lack of evidence linking any family members to Bianca's disappearance, whispers and speculation began to circulate within the community. The public, hungry for answers, grappled with the unsettling possibility that someone close to Bianca might be involved. The pressure mounted on law enforcement to make an arrest, to bring closure to the case, and alleviate the growing sense of fear and uncertainty. The scrutiny faced by Bianca's family took a toll, adding another layer of tragedy to an already unimaginable situation. The investigation continued, but the cloud of suspicion cast over the family lingered, highlighting the often unfair burden placed upon loved ones in missing person cases. Section 5, A Glimmer of Hope, the Michael Devlin connection. In 2007, a glimmer of hope emerged in the case of Bianca Piper, offering a potential connection to another high-profile missing person case. Michael J. Devlin, a Missouri man, had been arrested and charged with the kidnapping and imprisonment of two young boys, Sean Hornbeck and Ben Ownby. The discovery of the boys alive and well after years of captivity sent shockwaves through the nation and sparked renewed hope for families of missing children. A dedicated task force, assembled to investigate Devlin's crimes, turned their attention to Bianca's case, exploring any possible links between the disappearances. Devlin's known methods and patterns were meticulously compared to the circumstances surrounding Bianca's vanishing. The possibility, however remote, that Bianca might have fallen victim to Devlin's predatory behavior was a lead that investigators could not ignore. Unfortunately, despite exhaustive efforts, the task force found no concrete evidence connecting Devlin to Bianca's disappearance. The investigation, while thorough, failed to yield any substantial leads or breakthroughs. The glimmer of hope that had briefly ignited was extinguished, leaving Bianca's loved ones in the community once again grappling with the agonizing reality that she was still missing. Section 6, Unearthing the Truth, the 2023 septic tank search. Years turned into decades, and the case of Bianca Piper remained unsolved. The once intense media spotlight faded, and the trail ran cold. However, the determination to find Bianca never wavered. In 2023, a renewed wave of hope surged through the community of Foley as investigators announced a significant development in the case. Acting on a tip, law enforcement descended upon a property near Bianca's disappearance site, their focus fixed on an unassuming septic tank. On February 3, 2023, the septic tank was drained and meticulously searched. The operation, while grueling and emotionally charged, represented a tangible step towards uncovering the truth behind Bianca's disappearance. The contents of the septic tank were carefully collected and sent to Othram Labs, a Texas-based forensic genealogy company, for analysis. Othram specializes in extracting DNA from degraded or contaminated samples, offering a glimmer of hope in cases where traditional forensic methods have failed. The community held its breath, clinging to the possibility that this latest effort might finally provide the answers they had been seeking for so long. The wait for the results of the forensic analysis was agonizing, a mix of anticipation and dread. The septic tank search, while ultimately unsuccessful in uncovering Bianca's remains, underscored the unwavering commitment of law enforcement to pursue every lead, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Section 7. A cold case but not forgotten. The ongoing investigation. Despite the passage of time and the many dead ends encountered, the investigation into Bianca Piper's disappearance remains open. Although now considered a cold case, it continues to haunt law enforcement officials and the community of Foley. The case file, filled with interviews, forensic reports, and countless leads, serves as a constant reminder of the unanswered questions that linger. Over the years, the case has been revisited by various detectives, each bringing a fresh perspective and renewed determination to uncover the truth. Advances in forensic technology, particularly in the field of DNA analysis, have provided investigators with new tools to re-examine old evidence and explore previously unexplored avenues. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC, has been instrumental in keeping Bianca's case in the public eye, circulating updated age progression images and working closely with law enforcement. The case also remains a top priority for the Missouri State Highway Patrol, who have vowed to never give up on seeking justice for Bianca and her family. The investigation into Bianca Piper's disappearance is a testament to the unwavering dedication of law enforcement and the enduring power of hope, even in the face of adversity. Section 8. The unanswered questions, lingering mysteries, and what-ifs. The disappearance of Bianca Piper is a haunting tale that continues to leave more questions than answers. Despite the relentless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering support of the community, the truth behind her vanishing remains elusive. The lack of closure has left an unfillable void in the lives of those who knew and loved her, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring pain of uncertainty. The events surrounding Bianca's disappearance are shrouded in mystery, with several key questions remaining unanswered. What truly transpired on that snowy evening in March 2005? Was Bianca the victim of a random act of violence, or was her disappearance the result of something more sinister, perhaps involving someone she knew? The argument with her mother about the dishes, the therapeutic walks, the isolated location where she was last seen, these details, seemingly insignificant on their own, take on new meaning when examined through the lens of her disappearance. Did Bianca run away, seeking solace from her struggles with mental health, only to meet with foul play? Did someone take advantage of her vulnerability, luring her away from safety? These unanswered questions haunt the investigation, fueling speculation and conjecture. Section 9. Bianca's Legacy, Keeping Hope Alive. Although Bianca Piper's disappearance remains an unsolved mystery, her story has left an indelible mark on the community of Foley and beyond. Her case serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of young people and the importance of vigilance in protecting them. Bianca's legacy extends beyond the tragedy of her disappearance. It is a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unwavering determination to seek justice for those who have been silenced. In the years since Bianca vanished, her family and friends have worked tirelessly to keep her memory alive, organizing annual vigils, fundraisers, and awareness campaigns. They have channeled their grief and frustration into advocacy, becoming outspoken voices for missing and exploited children. Bianca's case has also served as a catalyst for change, prompting law enforcement agencies to re-examine their protocols for handling missing person cases, particularly those involving children with mental health challenges. The community of Foley, once shaken to its core, has emerged stronger and more united, bound by a shared commitment to ensuring that Bianca's story is never forgotten. While the pain of her absence remains, Bianca's legacy lives on through the countless lives she has touched. Her story serves as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit has an unyielding capacity for love, resilience, and the pursuit of justice.
All right. All right. So any questions so far? I know it was a crappy video. I just tried to throw it together, but I figured I would try to get as much factual information in that video that I could because it was just like every other case. It was pointing fingers, it was small town drama, it was mom did it, dad did it, why'd they let her walk? Why was she walking? It was, all kinds of stuff. So if you guys have any questions about that video, please ask because there's not much about this case I don't know. I'm sure there is, but I've tried so hard with this with Bianca. Bianca was she's bipolar and she had ADHD. So when you put those 2 together, it's like it's major highs and major lows. So her therapist, because they did have her in therapy, her therapist advised the parents that maybe when she gets on these rages and she doesn't want to do the dishes, and you know how teenagers get. Well, when they have bipolar, it's hard. It's even harder. So the mom struggled really hard with trying to get her help for her anger and her rage. And the therapist is like, well, maybe because it's country roads. So when I say country roads, I mean, like I live on a country road. You would have to walk a mile to my house on a gravel road to get to my house. But at the same time, that's kind of how that was in the middle of nowhere. This was 2005, a gravel road. You never thought in this area that there's any reason why a kid couldn't walk through there. And the fact that the therapist had advised the parents to let her walk it off, walk that anger off. So when she got like this, she did not like fight them to walk. She wanted to. She thought that was kind of like her freedom. So she always carried a flashlight because it was after school. And with her anger, she usually would get more angry in the evening. So she took the walk. Well, her mom dropped her out because, she was bickering back and forth and Bianca wanted to walk. And the mom said, okay, give her the flashlight, made sure she had what she needed. And on her way back right up the road, I mean, it is a pretty good walk, but still, she got halfway from Bianca to her home and realized, you know what, it's something doesn't feel right. So she turned around and she went back to Bianca. And she tells Bianca, Bianca, I know you want to walk and you're mad or whatever, but please don't get in anyone's vehicles. If anyone stops, run. Like just stranger danger. Even then, it's stranger danger. Just don't get in a car with anyone. Bianca was completely okay with that. I'm fine, mom. Let me walk. Leave me alone. You know how teenagers get. Don't bother me. I'm walking, mom. Bye. I'm busy. So mom left and mom went home. And then Bianca didn't come home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little bit of oh, why do they do this to me every time? Get that off there. Okay. I might help if I would share this though, huh? Sorry, I'm a train wreck today. I wish Southern Gal was in here because she says she has dumpster fires, but I have train wreck. So all aboard the cuckoo train today. Choo choo. All right, let's see if I can figure out what I want to do here. I want to share something, but what do I want to share? I think we'll do this one first. It should share. Yeah, does it show? It should show. There we go. But I need to make it bigger somehow. There. All right. So I'll go back over this. I'm figuring this stuff out little by little. Hi, Phil. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in here for a bit. All right. So we have the disappearance of Bianca Piper. Isn't she just a doll? I think those little freckles and her little smile. Oh my goodness. I just close my eyes. I can see her face. On March 10th, 2005, Bianca Piper went missing walking to her home. Investigators have never located Bianca, but they do continue to actively look for her. I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that's accurate information. I don't know what they're doing as of in this. I guess this was written in 2023. I can't promise they're still looking. I'm not sure, but I'm just going off of what they're saying. So it says that she was never located. They do continue to actively look for her. In 2023, they launched a search in the area Bianca was last seen. Yeah, I do realize that that was quite a few years later, but if they are continuing this, and I hope they are, then that's great. So on December 26th of 91, Bianca was born to Shannon and David. Bianca and they are excellent parents. Shannon is the sweetest and David is he is her protector, but he is also just a softie. And you know when you talk to parents and you see their pain and you see their grief. And I wish that many people that come out here and they grift and they don't do their research and they come out and they put out crap like addresses and they live here and the water's 4 foot deep and 2 foot wide and there could be a fish in here. No, sorry, but horse shit. Stop. Just stop it. If there's I don't know how to stress how much factual information helps and how misinformation completely hurts. This right here is a good example. So when I read this and I do get a little sassy, it's not toward any of you. It's because this case is so dear to me and there's been so many little mess ups with media, with creators, with news, with I mean it's been a mess. So if I get a little sassy, it's not toward anyone at all. I'm just sassy pants today and I'm spicy and I have been for a week and I apologize. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue because like I said, this one's dear to me. All right. So according to an interview with Shannon, featured in the St. Louis Post Dispatch, Bianca had been seeing a therapist since she was 4 years old. Bianca was attending Winfield Middle School when she went missing. According to an interview with Shannon, featured in the St. Louis Post Dispatch, Bianca had been seeing a therapist since she was 4, and she was diagnosed with ADHD and bipolar disorder. She was taking medication that and would become disoriented and could hallucinate if she did not take that on a normal schedule. That was why this was fast. It was very important. She's on medications. Without these medications, the schizophrenia takes over. Well, no, I'm sorry, not schizophrenia. That is misinformation. Bipolar disorder. I'm sorry. She was taking medication and would be disoriented and could hallucinate, and she had been known to do that. If she stopped her meds, she would hallucinate. Welcome, James Moen. Thank you for joining me. So we'll go to her disappearance. And this is where it starts. On March 10th, 2005, Bianca had come upset with her mother because she had asked her to do the dishes. As Bianca was dealing with mental health issues, her therapist suggested that her mom drop her off not too far from the house so Bianca can walk home and have time to cool off. And she did have moments of rage, and this always did actually calm her down. She wasn't always excited about the walk, but once she did the walk and got home, she was calm, usually when she came home. So they had tried this coping mechanism the night before when Bianca had become upset about doing her homework, and they found it to be helpful. So what I'm saying is like they got into it because she didn't want to do the dishes. She wasn't doing the chores. She was having like this bipolar episode thing going. So Shannon thought, okay, let's do this. Let's let you walk and cool down. So when you come home, like you did yesterday, when you wouldn't do your homework and you just walked this little bit and you were okay, let's try that again. So she did it again. And so this wasn't the first time that Bianca had been driven down the road to walk. And it wasn't when I say walk, I'm not talking hills and valleys. I'm talking just a flat gravel road. Okay. So I protect these parents because there is absolutely nothing. And I helped in this. There is nothing pointing that Shannon or her husband did absolutely anything. Welcome, Cry Mobsters. Thank you for joining. Okay, I'll shut up now and continue reading. At 6 p.m., Shannon drove her daughter to a nearby bridge equipped with her flashlight and drove off. According to an interview with the St. Louis Post Dispatch, Shannon stated she drove back to tell Bianca not to accept a ride from a stranger. She added, I wish now I would have told her I love her. And if you would talk to Shannon today, that's the same words that she says before she will even talk to you. I wish I just would have told her that I loved her. Think about that. And this is Shannon. Shannon Tanner sits with a stuffed animal called Ducky, a present from her 13-year-old daughter, Bianca, that was last seen walking home on Thursday night. And if you look at this picture of Shannon, that's how she stays. So when I say to protect families, I don't just say that because I have something to say. I say that because if you don't protect these families, they're destroyed. They're done and they're destroyed. Bianca has never returned home. Bianca was 5'6" at the time of her disappearance and weighed 185 pounds. She was wearing blue jeans, a gray Adidas hoodie, and white tennis shoes. After Bianca did not return home within 20 minutes, Shannon drove back and looked for Bianca. So we're talking 20 minutes. See how long I'm saying like the road is? It was a 20-minute walk, and she knew that if Bianca didn't come in 20 minutes, she would go look for her. So to me, immediately when I talked to Shannon was Shannon knows that it's a 20-minute walk. As soon as that 20 minutes was up, she knew and she went looking for her. I mean, there's nothing red flaggy here. We can put our tinfoil hats on, but that's not going to help here. We're just going to look like idiots wearing tinfoil hats, making up stories because, I mean, the mom it was a routine. She knew. So when she did not return home, Shannon started knocking on doors on a few nearby homes, asking if anyone had seen her daughter. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, over 100 people searched for Bianca along with police dogs and helicopters. And I can verify that. And you know what? That 100 people turned into 200 people, and we had too many people, and each one of us had to have groups of 12 because that community came together like family. They come together like family. I mean, usually on a search, I would be lucky to get 4 people to volunteer to help me. This, I had hundreds. We had to lead groups of 12 to 16, teach them. We had people of all ages. We had 70-year-olds out there with walking sticks. It was amazing to see that community come together. In May 2005, Shannon Tanner made a domestic abuse complaint against her boyfriend, Jim Felt, who lived with her and her daughters. After the couple reconciled, Shannon dropped the complaint, the St. Louis Dispatch stated. Now see, here we go. This is when the bullshit starts. This is whenever media takes over and oh my goodness, there's domestic violence in that house and oh my gosh, they must have done something. No. No. People get into it. Husband and wives tend to argue. Boyfriends and girlfriends, they argue. I've argued with someone already today. If that person goes missing, it's not on me. You know, people don't get along, but this is what they've done. Mother of missing girls charged with assault. And so, guess what? Guess who gets blasted and tormented and pushed and bullied? Tanner. Police say she hit her daughter with a curling iron. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Just hang on to your bloomers. It gets better. So they put this out, all right? The mother of missing Lincoln County girl has been charged with domestic assault after police say she hit another daughter in the head with a curling iron and threatened to tie her up and lock her in her bedroom. Shannon M. Tanner, 38, of the 1000th block of McIntosh Hill Road in Foley, and they no longer live there now. So, I shouldn't even actually read that, but it is public information. They no longer live there. So all of you that want to stalk these people, good luck. They don't live there. Do your homework. You're going to do it. You're going to work for it. Anyway, so she was released after posting a $25,000 bond. Her 14-year-old daughter, Bianca Piper, has been missing since March 10th after Tanner dropped the girl about a mile from her home with instructions to walk home. Tanner said she hoped the walk would give Bianca time to calm down from a family dispute over doing dinner dishes. She has said counselors had advised her to do this to diffuse problems. That can be verified. Last month, authorities responded to a domestic dispute between Tanner and her live-in boyfriend, Jim Felt. Tanner had filed a complaint against Felt, but dropped it after the two reconciled. Listen, this happens. What happens between the mom and a boyfriend or the mom and a girlfriend or the mom and whoever is none of our business. She did not hurt Bianca, but look what they did. They do this. And this helps find Bianca how? How does this help? It doesn't. In June 2005, police responded to a call at Shannon's residence. They heard shouting, and upon entering, Shannon was on top of her 17-year-old daughter holding her fact, hurting her, holding her fact to the ground. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported the daughter told police her mother snatched her curling iron from her, hit her with it, and repeatedly punched her in the head. According to the article, the police saw something on the teen's head. The teenager also reported her mother threatened to tie her up and lock her in a room. Shannon was arrested for domestic assault while being taken out of her house by the police. Shannon disclosed her daughter threw a glass dish at her. She then proceeded to shove an officer and reached a broken piece of glass. Shannon had to be tased by police. Okay, that did happen. Let me explain. You put a mother in a corner, she's missing a child, and your other daughter comes and she busts you in the head with a glass. If you think that my teenage child is going to bust me in the head with a glass and I'm just going to lay down, you have lost your ever loving mind. It's not going to happen. I don't think she hit her on top of the head with that curling iron. I think in a shuffle, yeah, the curling iron did hit the girl. And they did arrest her. They did. And Shannon had completely, at that point, was losing her mind. Why? Well, if you go look back up here and I'll show you this right here. I hope that you can see this. It says mother of missing girl charged with assault because this right here, the pushing can snap a mother. It can snap a father. It can snap anyone. You're already missing your child. You got fingers pointed at you. You get into it with your teenager, and guess what? Now you're on media spotlight. On February 3rd, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office reached the area Bianca was last seen walking in. According to the press release, the search is part of their new efforts of reviewing the investigative files of all cold cases and exploring all potential opportunities to uncover new evidence and develop new leads. They have not released if they found any evidence in that search. And we all know why. There isn't any. Okay, now that's just one. And I want to use that. I use this as an example for a reason. This is the St. Louis Post-Dispatch that put this information out, knowing that this young lady right here, Bianca Piper, all of that. And they took something as the mom got into it with her boyfriend, filed a restraining order. People do that all the time. That doesn't mean they hurt their child. They didn't get along. They figured it out. They worked it out. Teenage daughter hit her in the head with a glass. So mom took care of it. You're not hitting me with a glass. It happens. It's the country. It's what they do. It's not, I mean, it's part of it. Teenagers can be a lot, and especially a teenager that's bigger than you. I'm a mother of boys. I can say I've had a few altercations where one of my boys thought they could, overpower mama, and no. Okay, so as we move on here, this is just one example. So I come back over here and I'm looking through this and I'm like, well, you can't see this either. I'm sorry. Chee chee. All aboard the cuckoo train. All right, let's try this again. So I'll come back up to this one. And now you guys can see what I'm looking at. So I go through here and I'm looking, and we're going to go through and like missing people in America. Amazing, amazing. Guys, if you donate to anywhere, I'm not saying just this one, there's so many. But I mean, they're great. All these foundations are absolutely wonderful. So Bianca Piper missing from Foley, Missouri since March 10th, 2005. She would now be 32 years old. 32. Bianca Piper, last seen March 10th, now 32 years old, 5'6" when she went missing, and she weighs 185 pounds. Good evening, Be Real. Thank you for joining. Hey, Stormy. Hi, Mikey. You want to come up here and join me? All right. If you see this age progressed photo here, and I think they did really well because I could see her looking like that right now, and I hope that she's out there, like I said, living her best life. Last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. on March 10th, 2005, when her mother dropped her off at McIntosh Hill Road in Foley, Missouri, about a mile from her home. It's a little less than a mile. It was 3/4 of a mile, actually. She was having anger management problems and had a tantrum about chores the night of her disappearance. Her therapist had advised her mother to drive a distance from home and make her walk back alone to deal with her aggression. Bianca and her mother had tried the treatment once prior, and it had worked. It actually did. It had worked. And Bianca requested that it be done again. Bianca liked it. She liked that she could calm down. Yeah. Mom, what do you mean? Oh, it's all you can see is good. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. ADHD at its best. Let me try this again. I'm sorry, guys. This one's just so dear to me, and I knew that this would probably be a train wreck because this is so close to me and to my heart, but I promise I will try this one more time. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, here we go again. I'm gonna start over. You're gonna call me Pete and repeat today. Oh, okay, Mikey. Well, I'm gonna hold you to it one day. Bianca Piper. Let's try this again. Okay, I read all that to you. I don't even think that's what I was going through here. Okay, she also asked to be dropped off a little further from home than she had before because the night before she really liked that walk. Like she liked the freedom of having that walk on that road without anybody with her. She's a teenager. She liked I can walk, everything's fine. And so she did. She liked it. She didn't do her homework the night before, threw a fit, came home, and that walk helped her. So sure, why wouldn't her mom let her? Bianca and her mother had tried the treatment once before the night before, and it worked. So Bianca requested it be done again. She also asked to be dropped off just a little bit further than the home than she had before. She never arrived home and she's never been heard from again. Her mother reported her missing at 8:20 p.m. She was 13 years old at this time. Age progressed photo to 24 on the right. So now you can look at the little photo there. I hope that I don't really know how to make that bigger yet, but I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, I mean, this one is it really gets to me. It's just one of those cases that will stick with you for what feels like forever and ever. Let me go back over here and share this because I'm gonna share a few flyers too. But um, who we got in here? Let me see if I missed. Hi, Marion. Thank you for joining me today. If I missed anyone, somebody let me know if I missed you because I don't want to miss anyone. I know I'm kind of rough with greeting everyone. I don't mean to be. Crime mobsters, I think I did say hello to you. If I missed any of you, I apologize. I really do. Oh, 40 likes. Are you kidding? Wow. Well, thank you, Paula, for noticing that. I would have not even realized that. Hey, SRB, thank you for joining. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I guess I kind of need to go over some flyers too. I do have a video. I don't know, did any of you get to see my premiere about Loose Lip Larry? Because I'm going to play him just in a little bit. But until then, I kind of want to read a few flyers and see if anybody else comes in. If we get a few more people in, maybe after Dago goes ends his live, I think he's on Funnies. And if they come over here, then I'll play Loose Lip Larry because y'all need to meet Loose Lip Larry. He he's not real. I made him up, but it's just a story. All right. So what I'll do is I'll go over here and we'll see what Missing People in America has put out today, and then I'll show you. Okay. Yep. We'll do that. Sorry, guys. I'm figuring this out. ADHD is crazy today, and little Bianca's face. Just you know me. Can't help it. All right. So we're going to go over some flyers. Okay, guys, let me know if you can see that before I start reading it because obviously my brain's everywhere today. Oh, he's done SRB. Oh, okay. Well, maybe he's just not going to come over here. All right. Well, anyway, so we have Anna Pollard. Anna Pollard is missing from Greenville, South Carolina, last seen March 2nd, 2025. She was 26 years old at the time of the disappearance, 5'3" and 100 pounds. She was last seen near Gear Highway and on Persimmon Ridge Road at approximately 5 p.m. She was last seen wearing a t-shirt with lettering and red, black, and white flannel pajama pants. If you have any information about Anna, please call Greenville County Sheriff or 911. We have Chloe. Chloe's missing from Kansas, last seen March 4th, 2025. She's 13 years old, 5'5", and weighs 150 pounds. She was last seen around 4 p.m. Tuesday, leaving an Uber in 20. Whew, I'm not even gonna go on that address. Her direction of travel is believed to possibly be in an undisclosed location in Oak Grove, Missouri. Oak Grove, Missouri. Chloe was last seen wearing a black t-shirt and black sweatpants. If you have any information about Chloe, please contact their police department at 913-971-6363. Christian Barron is missing from Prosper, Texas. Just a minute. I'm going to have to vape, guys. I'm sorry. I'm everywhere today. All right. Sorry, I'm going to sound like Darth Vader here, but. So Christian is missing from Prosper, Texas. Last seen November 1st, 2024. He's 23 years old, 5'7", and weighs 130 pounds. On Friday, November 1st, 24, around 1:45 p.m., Christian Barron left his residence in Prosper, possibly headed towards Denton. Barron was last seen wearing a black Glock beanie, black hoodie, and jeans. Sarah was found safe. That's excellent news. Paige Fannon's missing from Connecticut. Last seen March 5th, 2025. She's 35 years old. Says Paige Fannon of West Islip, New York, was reported missing in New York on March 4th, 2025. She was last seen in Wilton near Sheck's Island on Wednesday, March 5th at noon. If you have any information about Paige, please contact their police department at 203-834-6260. We have Kareem Ward. He's missing from Horry County, South Carolina. It says Ward was last seen on the morning of June 17th of 2007. That day, he played with his dog, took a shower, changed clothes, left home around 10 a.m. He told his family to call his cell phone, and the dog got loose. Approximately 30 minutes later, his family attempted to reach him, but he did not answer. He later missed Sunday dinner and failed to take his mother to a scheduled doctor's appointment. Both highly uncharacteristic of him. Hey, Dago, thanks for joining. Oh, you're all right. No worries. Never late. If you have any information about Kareem, please contact the Horry County Police Department at 843-915-5350. Stephen Keith Robertson is missing from Sonora, Texas. Last seen September 5th, 2018. He was 26 years old at the time of his disappearance, 6'1", and he weighs 180 pounds. Hey, Southern gal, I was just talking about you. I was just saying, you say you have dumpster fires, and I have train wrecks, so all aboard the cuckoo train. Keith's mother received a call from her ex-husband on the morning of September 6, 2018, informing her that her son had not shown up for work. Now, Keith was employed at an oil field flowback supervisor and at a completion site in Crockett County at approximately 15 miles north of Ozona. At first, she thought he might have been visiting with friends or out on a date. However, with repeated calls to his cell phone that went straight to voicemail, her concern grew. As hours passed with no word from him, she filed a missing report in Ozona. Later that afternoon, the Texas Department of Public Safety provided troubling news. At 9:39 p.m. the night before, Keith had been involved in a two-vehicle crash in Sutton County. According to the DPS crash report, his vehicle crossed the center median and became airborne and collided with another car. Now, both vehicles spun out multiple times, and the other driver sustained injuries. The driver of the second vehicle reported that Keith left the scene. Since that night, no one has heard from him since. If you have any information about Stephen Keith Robertson, please contact the Sutton County Sheriff's Department at 325-387-2288. Guys, I'm going to have to pause just for a minute. I'm going to have to mute. I have something just real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry. My dog was fixing to start barking, and I knew if I didn't stop him, I would wish I did. Okay, so we'll go to the next. We have Aaron Fortner. Let me go back and make sure I'm not muted. Okay, I'm not. Thank goodness. What's one of those ADHD crazy days? Thank you, Fox. Hear the dog? I knew he was going to start. Okay. Aaron Fortner is missing from North Carolina. Last seen February 21st, 2022. He was 25 years old at the time of his disappearance, 5'9", and he weighed 140 pounds. Fortner was last seen at 7 p.m. after grocery shopping with his mom. She dropped him off at his camper located on a property where his grandparents were building a home. That was the last time they saw him. Around midnight, Fortner made several distressed calls to his grandparents, insisting someone was coming for him and that his camper needed to be moved. Concerned, his family went to check on him. He was gone. His family, he normally kept his camper tidy, but his camper was found in disarray. And with his belongings scattered, the lights and the electric blanket and a fan were left on. Outside, his baseball cap was found on an embankment near the camper. Fortner's disappearance is highly uncharacteristic, and his phone, the only item missing, has shown absolutely no activity since. Do we have any questions yet, guys? At all? Anything? Any questions about any of them? Oh, it says, I've covered Aaron and we've had his mother. Oh, okay. Great, Arctic. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize that. Let's see. I do have a video. If I can find it. There it is. We'll open this. Okay. I usually just do, I went over Bianca Piper. Is any of you that came in late, are you guys familiar with Bianca's case? Probably not. It's from 2005. So if there's any creators in here that would be willing to cover Bianca's case, it would be great to keep her out there. Like I said, she was my very first missing child um from my past work, and so she means so much to me. So if there's any creators in here that would just even mention her name or go over a flyer, I'll send you the flyer. I would greatly appreciate it. I realize she's an adult now, but I don't lose hope, and I hope I want to be there the day that she gets reunited with her family. But if anyone would like, I did a little video on her. I can play that one, and then I have one more. If you guys are okay with that. But if you all are familiar, the ones that came in late, then I won't make the ones that were already here watch it again. I'll leave it up to you guys. You guys let me know. Dago, are you familiar with Bianca Piper? Southern Gal? Do you know that name? I'm sure Arctic does. And Mom. I don't know, because some of these Missouri cases from back that long, there wasn't a lot of media. So I could see where people wouldn't really know. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, well then, okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and play this if you guys don't mind. The ones that were already here, do you guys mind if I replay Bianca's little video that I made? I don't want anybody bored, but it's so important to me to get her information out. And any of you that want to use this for your channel, you can use anything on my channel. My channel is not like, I don't care. Anything on my channel, all of you are welcome to bring awareness. I would love for you to. It would be an honor for me, for any of you to use any of my stuff to describe anything to bring awareness. But then I'll go ahead and play hers so that you guys can get a little familiar with her case before and decide if you even want to cover it.
Introducing Bianca.
Well, if I would add her to stage, it probably would be good.
Bianca Noel.
Oh, well.
Piper was born on.
Hold on. I'm going to have to put it in here. Of course. Sorry, guys. But it shouldn't be that bad. It should be right here. Might be that one.
Introducing Bianca Piper. Bianca.
All right, let's see.
Piper was born on December 20.
Well, guys, I'm trying if I can get this to play here. I can't get it to add to the screen. You gotta be kidding me.
1991. She was a bright and
There
energetic
we go.
child who loved animals and dreamed of
Okay.
becoming a life interrupted. Introducing Bianca Piper. Bianca Noel. Piper was born on December 26, 1991. She was a bright and energetic child who loved animals and dreamed of becoming a veterinarian. Bianca grew up in Foley, Missouri. Life wasn't always easy for Bianca. She faced challenges, struggling with ADHD and severe bipolar disorder. These conditions required daily medication and regular therapy. Despite these hurdles, Bianca remained a loving daughter and sister, known for her infectious laugh and kind heart. Bianca attended school and tried to navigate the ups and downs of adolescence like any other teenager. She enjoyed spending time with her friends and family, finding solace in their company. Behind her bright smile, Bianca fought a daily battle with her mental health. Her family tried their best to support her, seeking the best medical help available. Despite the challenges she faced, Bianca remained a beacon of hope and resilience. Her story is a reminder that behind every missing person's case lies a life filled with dreams, aspirations, and loved ones who desperately seek answers. Bianca's disappearance left a void in the lives of those who knew and loved her. The mystery surrounding her vanishing continues to haunt the small community of Foley and beyond. It serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of young people and the importance of seeking justice for those who have been silenced. Bianca's story is a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unwavering determination of those who refuse to let her memory fade away. The vanishing March 10, 2005. March 10, 2005 started like any other day for Bianca Piper. She woke up, got ready for school, and went about her usual routine. However, fate had a cruel twist in store for the 13-year-old. As evening approached, a dispute arose between Bianca and her mother about household chores, specifically washing the dishes. This seemingly insignificant argument would become a haunting detail in the events that unfolded. Around 6:15 p.m., Bianca's mother dropped her off at McIntosh Hill Road. This was about a mile from their home. It wasn't unusual. The drop-off was part of a therapeutic exercise for Bianca. Little did her mother know that this would be the last time she would ever see her daughter. The weather was turning treacherous. Snow began to fall, blanketing the area in a white veil. Bianca was last seen wearing a lime green blouse, gray Adidas hooded sweatshirt, blue jeans, and white tennis sneakers. She also had a flashlight with her, a small comfort in the encroaching darkness. Hours passed, and Bianca did not return home. Concern quickly turned to panic. At 8:20 p.m., her family reported her missing, their hearts pounding with fear and uncertainty. The search for Bianca Piper had begun, but as darkness fell and the snow continued to fall, so did the shadows of doubt and despair. Searching for clues, the initial investigation. News of Bianca's disappearance spread through Foley like wildfire. The tight-knit community was in shock. A young girl had vanished without a trace, and fear gripped the hearts of parents and children alike. Law enforcement sprang into action, launching a full-scale investigation. Search parties were organized, combing through the wooded areas and snow-covered fields surrounding McIntosh Hill Road. The initial assumption, given Bianca's mental health history, was that she might have wandered off or become disoriented due to the weather. However, as hours turned into days, and days into weeks, the possibility of a more sinister scenario began to take hold. Investigators meticulously interviewed family members, friends, classmates, and anyone who might have had contact with Bianca in the days leading up to her disappearance. The investigation extended beyond Foley, with law enforcement agencies from surrounding counties joining the search. Flyers bearing Bianca's smiling face were plastered on telephone poles, storefronts, and car windows throughout the region. The case garnered media attention, with local and national news outlets covering the story extensively. Despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering support of the community, Bianca remained missing. The investigation continued, but the trail was growing colder with each passing day. The mystery of Bianca Piper's disappearance deepened, leaving more questions than answers. Shadows of doubt, family scrutiny, and public speculation. As the investigation into Bianca Piper's disappearance intensified, scrutiny naturally fell upon those closest to her, her family. Law enforcement officials conducted thorough interviews with Bianca's mother and her live-in boyfriend, hoping to uncover any leads or inconsistencies that might shed light on her whereabouts. Both individuals maintained their innocence, cooperating fully with the investigation. Polygraph tests were administered to both Bianca's mother and her boyfriend, and both passed. Bianca's biological father was also interviewed, but he was not considered a suspect. Despite the lack of evidence linking any family members to Bianca's disappearance, whispers and speculation began to circulate within the community. The public, hungry for answers, grappled with the unsettling possibility that someone close to Bianca might be involved. The pressure mounted on law enforcement to make an arrest, to bring closure to the case, and alleviate the growing sense of fear and uncertainty. The scrutiny faced by Bianca's family took a toll, adding another layer of tragedy to an already unimaginable situation. The investigation continued, but the cloud of suspicion cast over the family lingered, highlighting the often unfair burden placed upon loved ones in missing person cases. Section 5. A Glimmer of Hope, the Michael Devlin Connection. In 2007, a glimmer of hope emerged in the case of Bianca Piper, offering a potential connection to another high-profile missing person case. Michael J. Devlin, a Missouri man, had been arrested and charged with the kidnapping and imprisonment of two young boys, Sean Hornbeck and Ben Ownby. The discovery of the boys alive and well after years of captivity sent shockwaves through the nation and sparked renewed hope for families of missing children. A dedicated task force, assembled to investigate Devlin's crimes, turned their attention to Bianca's case, exploring any possible links between the disappearances. Devlin's known methods and patterns were meticulously compared to the circumstances surrounding Bianca's vanishing. The possibility, however remote, that Bianca might have fallen victim to Devlin's predatory behavior was a lead that investigators could not ignore. Unfortunately, despite exhaustive efforts, the task force found no concrete evidence connecting Devlin to Bianca's disappearance. The investigation, while thorough, failed to yield any substantial leads or breakthroughs. The glimmer of hope that had briefly ignited was extinguished, leaving Bianca's loved ones in the community once again grappling with the agonizing reality that she was still missing. Section 6. Unearthing the Truth, the 2023 septic tank search. Years turned into decades, and the case of Bianca Piper remained unsolved. The once intense media spotlight faded, and the trail ran cold. However, the determination to find Bianca never wavered. In 2023, a renewed wave of hope surged through the community of Foley as investigators announced a significant development in the case. Acting on a tip, law enforcement descended upon a property near Bianca's disappearance site, their focus fixed on an unassuming septic tank. On February 3, 2023, the septic tank was drained and meticulously searched. The operation, while grueling and emotionally charged, represented a tangible step towards uncovering the truth behind Bianca's disappearance. The contents of the septic tank were carefully collected and sent to Othram Labs, a Texas-based forensic genealogy company, for analysis. Othram specializes in extracting DNA from degraded or contaminated samples, offering a glimmer of hope in cases where traditional forensic methods have failed. The community held its breath, clinging to the possibility that this latest effort might finally provide the answers they had been seeking for so long. The wait for the results of the forensic analysis was agonizing, a mix of anticipation and dread. The septic tank search, while ultimately unsuccessful in uncovering Bianca's remains, underscored the unwavering commitment of law enforcement to pursue every lead, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Section 7. A cold case but not forgotten. The ongoing investigation. Despite the passage of time and the many dead ends encountered, the investigation into Bianca Piper's disappearance remains open. Although now considered a cold case, it continues to haunt law enforcement officials in the community of Foley. The case file, filled with interviews, forensic reports, and countless leads, serves as a constant reminder of the unanswered questions that linger. Over the years, the case has been revisited by various detectives, each bringing a fresh perspective and renewed determination to uncover the truth. Advances in forensic technology, particularly in the field of DNA analysis, have provided investigators with new tools to re-examine old evidence and explore previously unexplored avenues. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC, has been instrumental in keeping Bianca's case in the public eye, circulating updated age progression images and working closely with law enforcement. The case also remains a top priority for the Missouri State Highway Patrol, who have vowed to to never give up on seeking justice for Bianca and her family. The investigation into Bianca Piper's disappearance is a testament to the unwavering dedication of law enforcement and the enduring power of hope, even in the face of adversity. Section 8. The unanswered questions, lingering mysteries, and what-ifs. The disappearance of Bianca Piper is a haunting tale that continues to leave more questions than answers. Despite the relentless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering support of the community, the truth behind her vanishing remains elusive. The lack of closure has left an unfillable void in the lives of those who knew and loved her, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring pain of uncertainty. The events surrounding Bianca's disappearance are shrouded in mystery, with several key questions remaining unanswered. What truly transpired on that snowy evening in March 2005? Was Bianca the victim of a random act of violence, or was her disappearance the result of something more sinister, perhaps involving someone she knew? The argument with her mother about the dishes, the therapeutic walks, the isolated location where she was last seen, these details, seemingly insignificant on their own, take on new meaning when examined through the lens of her disappearance. Did Bianca run away, seeking solace from her struggles with mental health, only to meet with foul play? Did someone take advantage of her vulnerability, luring her away from safety? These unanswered questions haunt the investigation, fueling speculation and conjecture. Section 9. Bianca's Legacy, Keeping Hope Alive. Although Bianca Piper's disappearance remains an unsolved mystery, her story has left an indelible mark on the community of Foley and beyond. Her case serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of young people and the importance of vigilance in protecting them. Bianca's legacy extends beyond the tragedy of her disappearance. It is a testament to the enduring power of hope and the unwavering determination to seek justice for those who have been silenced. In the years since Bianca vanished, her family and friends have worked tirelessly to keep her memory alive, organizing annual vigils, fundraisers, and awareness campaigns. They have channeled their grief and frustration into advocacy, becoming outspoken voices for missing and exploited children. Bianca's case has also served as a catalyst for change, prompting law enforcement agencies to re-examine their protocols for handling missing person cases, particularly those involving children with mental health challenges. The community of Foley, once shaken to its core, has emerged stronger and more united, bound by a shared commitment to ensuring that Bianca's story is never forgotten. While the pain of her absence remains, Bianca's legacy lives on through the countless lives she has touched. Her story serves as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit has an unyielding capacity for love, resilience, and the pursuit of justice.
Do you guys have any questions about Bianca? I think that did I do okay in the video? You think I kind of gave all I tried to give as much factual information that I could and try to make it to where it would kind of grab another creator's attention. It's it's been 20 years, you know. The family has just suffered for 20 years the not knowing. But before we end this, and I usually keep it at 1, I did have a premiere, but it was a little one, and I'm sure many of you didn't see this, and I know we are all so tired of the clickbaits and the grifting and the outback doing whatever into whatever and all this stuff. So with all that being said, I have kind of a little funny. It's not really a funny, and I hope that if I'm hoping this is another one to hope to grab attention, that if anyone is doing this, maybe they will stop it. So let's do this. Let's meet Loose Lips Larry.
Larry wasn't his real name, of course. Loose Lips. Larry was a brand, a caricature. He wore that goofy grin like a mask, all teeth and no warmth. His eyes, though, they were the real trick. They held a glint of something hungry, something that spoke of ambition far exceeding the grainy resolution of his webcam. Larry craved fame, the kind that came with millions of views and ad revenue that could choke a horse. And he'd found his meal ticket tragedy. Larry's early videos were harmless enough, filled with the usual internet flotsam, unboxing videos, amateur magic tricks that never quite worked, rants about video games that felt more like hostage situations than reviews. But the algorithm, that digital god of virality, whispered a different path. It showed him that sorrow, real human pain, was the fastest way to climb the trending tab. So, Loose Lips Larry, ever the opportunist, pivoted. He became the internet's self-proclaimed expert on missing persons cases, a digital ghoul feasting on the anxieties of a nation. The more tragic the story, the wider Larry grinned. Missing children, those were his bread and butter. He'd dredge up the details, the photos, the timelines, weaving narratives that were part speculation, part outright fabrication. He'd throw in amateur psychology, claiming to understand the minds of kidnappers, even the missing children themselves. It was all a gruesome puppet show with Larry pulling the strings of fear and desperation, and the audience, they ate it up. The families of the missing, they were never just faces on a screen to Larry, they were pawns, their pain fuel for his engine of self-promotion. He'd dedicate entire videos to their loved ones, promising answers, offering theories that were often cruel in their absurdity. He claimed to have sources, inside information, but it was all smoke and mirrors. The truth was, Larry didn't care about finding the missing, he cared about finding an audience. He built his following on the backs of broken families, their grief, his currency. He'd insert himself into their lives, offering empty platitudes during live streams, even going so far as to visit the homes of the recently bereaved. Cameras rolling, of course. He'd film their tears, their raw anguish, editing it all together into emotionally manipulative montages set to somber music. The families, desperate for any sliver of hope, any scrap of information that might lead them to their loved ones, would play into his hands. They'd share intimate details, private anxieties, all for the chance of their story reaching a wider audience. Little did they know they were feeding a beast, their pain fueling a machine designed to exploit their suffering for profit. But Larry, ever the showman, remained oblivious to the wreckage he left in his wake, or perhaps worse, he simply didn't care. Larry was a master manipulator, a puppeteer of emotions. He knew exactly which strings to pull to keep his audience hooked. He'd pepper his videos with dramatic cliffhangers, promising shocking revelations that never materialized. He'd seed his narratives with conspiracy theories, weaving intricate webs of speculation that preyed on the fears and uncertainties of his viewers. Every video title was a carefully crafted emotional grenade, designed to explode on impact. Missing teen found alive, one would scream, only for the video to devolve into a rambling, unsubstantiated theory about government cover-ups and alien abductions. Mother makes shocking confession, another would blare, the content amounting to nothing more than a tearful plea for help from a woman on the verge of a breakdown, manipulated by Larry's promises of exposure and justice. He understood the addictive nature of true crime, the morbid fascination with the darkest corners of the human experience. He knew that fear, anger, and outrage were potent drugs, and he was more than willing to peddle them to his ever-growing user base. His videos became a perverse form of entertainment, a carnival of the macabre where real lives were reduced to plot points, and real pain was nothing more than a commodity to be bought, sold, and traded for clicks and subscriptions. For a while, Larry's reign as the king of tragedy seemed unassailable. His channel ballooned in popularity, his face plastered across news websites and talk shows, eager to capitalize on his morbid brand of fame. He reveled in the attention, the money, the power he wielded over his vast and impressionable audience. But cracks were beginning to show in Larry's carefully constructed facade. His videos, once filled with feigned empathy and concern, became increasingly unhinged, his theories more outlandish, his pronouncements more self-aggrandizing. He began to slip up, revealing a disturbing lack of knowledge about the cases he claimed to be so invested in. Then came the whispers. At first, they were just murmurs in the darkest corners of the internet, voices questioning Larry's motives, pointing out the inconsistencies in his stories, the pain he seemed to revel in. A hashtag, #LarryLies, began to circulate, gaining traction with each passing day. The families of the missing, once hopeful that Larry's platform might bring them answers, began to speak out against him, accusing him of exploiting their pain for personal gain, of hindering rather than helping their search for their loved ones. The tide was turning, and Larry, for perhaps the first time in his online career, found himself on the defensive. Section 5. The walls close in. The authorities, initially slow to react to what they perceived as just another internet sideshow, began to take notice. The accusations against Larry were piling up, and the families of the missing were becoming increasingly vocal in their demands for justice. Law enforcement agencies across the country began to investigate Larry's activities, scrutinizing his videos, his social media posts, his financial records. They discovered a pattern of deception, manipulation, and potential obstruction of justice. Larry, it seemed, had crossed a line, and the long arm of the law was reaching out to hold him accountable. The pressure mounted with each passing day. Media outlets, once eager to platform Larry, now turned on him with a vengeance, dissecting his every move, amplifying the voices of his accusers. His carefully curated online persona crumbled, revealing the manipulative opportunist beneath. Larry, backed into a corner, grew increasingly erratic. His videos became rambling, paranoid rants filled with accusations and denials that only served to further incriminate him. He lashed out at his critics, threatening lawsuits and claiming to be the victim of a vast conspiracy. But it was too late. The walls were closing in, and Larry, the puppet master, was about to become the puppet. Section 6. Unmasking the Monster. The arrest, when it finally came, was swift and unceremonious. No flashing lights, no dramatic pronouncements of justice served, just two officers in plain clothes showing up at Larry's door, a warrant in hand, the cold certainty of the law in their eyes. The internet, of course, exploded. #Larry Lies trended worldwide. Screenshots of his arrest warrant circulated like wildfire. The comments sections, once filled with Larry's sycophantic followers, became a digital graveyard of schadenfreude and righteous anger. The charges against him were numerous and damning: obstruction of justice, wire fraud, exploitation of a minor. The facade of Loose Lips Larry, the concerned citizen journalist, had been shattered, revealing the predator lurking beneath. The trial was a media circus. Cameras lined the courtroom walls, capturing every flinch, every bead of sweat on Larry's brow as the prosecution laid out its case. They presented mountains of evidence videos, social media posts, financial records, all meticulously documented, all pointing to a pattern of calculated deception and exploitation. Witnesses, many of them family members of the missing, took the stand, their voices trembling with anger and grief as they recounted their interactions with Larry, the false hope he'd offered, the pain he'd inflicted. Larry, stripped of his online persona, his carefully crafted image in tatters, could only sit there, a pathetic figure in an ill-fitting suit, his eyes darting nervously around the courtroom, the weight of his lies finally crushing him. Section 7. The Price of Lies. The jury's verdict, when it came, was swift and unanimous. Guilty. Larry, his face ashen, his eyes devoid of their usual manic energy, was led away in handcuffs, his cries of innocence drowned out by the click of cameras and the gasps of the courtroom spectators. The judge, in his sentencing, made it clear that Larry's crimes were not victimless. He had exploited the pain and suffering of countless individuals for his own selfish gain, profiting off of tragedy, hindering investigations, and causing immeasurable emotional distress to those who had already lost so much. The sentence was harsh but just: a significant prison term, a hefty fine, a lifetime ban from social media, a permanent stain on his name. The internet, once Larry's playground, his kingdom of fabricated narratives and manufactured outrage, became his prison cell, his crimes forever etched in the digital annals of infamy. The families of the missing, while finding little solace in Larry's downfall, at least had the satisfaction of seeing justice served. Larry's reign of exploitation was over, his platform silenced, his ability to inflict further pain revoked, but the scars he left behind, the wounds he inflicted on vulnerable hearts, those would likely never fully heal. Section 8. Justice, though long awaited. The downfall of Loose Lips. Larry sent shockwaves throughout the online world. It served as a stark reminder that the internet, for all its freedoms and possibilities, was not a lawless frontier. The rules of human decency, of empathy, of accountability, still applied, even in the digital Wild West of social media. Larry's story became a cautionary tale, a warning to those who would exploit tragedy for personal gain, who would prioritize clicks over compassion, who would build their empires on the backs of the suffering. His arrest and conviction were a victory for truth, a testament to the power of collective outrage, a reminder that even in the vastness of the internet, actions have consequences. The families of the missing, though still grappling with the loss of their loved ones, found some solace in knowing that Larry would no longer be able to exploit their pain, that his platform would no longer be used to spread misinformation and inflict further suffering. The internet, though forever changed by Larry's brand of toxic sensationalism, began the slow process of healing. The algorithms, once complicit in his rise to fame, were tweaked. The digital pathways that had allowed him to profit from pain rerouted, the balance of power slowly shifting away from those who sought to exploit and towards those who sought to inform, to connect, to heal. Section 9. Truth above all. In the end, the story of Loose Lips. Larry is not just a story about the dark side of internet fame, but a story about the enduring power of truth. It's a story about the importance of empathy, the need for accountability, and the responsibility we all have as consumers and creators of online content to be critical thinkers, to question narratives, and to demand better from those who seek to profit from our attention. The internet, for all its flaws, remains a powerful tool for connection, for information sharing, for amplifying voices that might otherwise go unheard. It's up to us, the users, to ensure that it's used for good, that it's a force for truth and justice, not a platform for exploitation and deceit. Let the downfall of Loose Lips Larry serve as a reminder. The truth matters, kindness matters, empathy matters. Let's build an internet where those values prevail, where the pursuit of justice and the amplification of truth are the driving forces, not the pursuit of clicks and the amplification of pain. Imagine a clock, always ticking but the hands are frozen. That's what it's like for families of the missing. Each second is agony, uncertainty, a lead weight. They exist between grief and hope, a limbo no one deserves. The world moves on, birthdays pass, holidays come and go, but for these families time is a broken record, stuck on the day their loved one vanished. Sleep offers no escape, only nightmares and the cold sweat of what-ifs. Laughter feels like betrayal. They replay memories, searching for clues, for some explanation. Their loved one isn't just gone, they've vanished into thin air, leaving behind a silence that screams. Now imagine someone promising answers, offering a glimmer in the darkness, then silence, or worse, a dead end. False hope is a cruel joke, deepening the wound already carved by loss. Every unanswered phone call, every fruitless search party, every well-intentioned but empty promise adds another layer of pain. It chips away at their faith in humanity, in justice, in everything. And then there's the judgment. The whispers that maybe they did something wrong, that maybe they should just move on, as if the gaping hole in their lives could ever be filled with platitudes. The authorities, burdened by caseloads and red tape, sometimes add to the hurt. Lack of communication, slow responses, information withheld, it all feeds the monster of uncertainty. Families feel helpless, lost in a system that seems indifferent to their pain. The statistics are grim. Suicide rates among families of missing persons are significantly higher than the national average. The constant stress, the lack of closure, the feeling of being forgotten, it takes a devastating toll. But there is hope. It lives in the communities, in the ordinary people who choose empathy over apathy. We can be that hope. Share a missing person's flyer, volunteer for a search party, offer a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear. Sometimes even a simple smile and a nod of acknowledgement can make a world of difference. It tells them they are not alone, that someone sees their pain, that their loved one is not forgotten. It reminds them that even in the darkest night, a single spark of kindness can light the way. Let's be that spark. Let's choose compassion. Let's be the village that embraces those shattered by loss and helps them find the strength to keep going, because everyone deserves to be found and everyone deserves to be heard.
Guys, do you have any questions? Any kind of question? Do you want me to go ahead and continue reading flyers, or would you rather me just hush and end this? It's completely up to you guys. I can read more flyers, I can end it. I don't know. Arctic, do you have a premiere coming up? I don't want to step on toes, and I didn't even think to look, and I apologize. Oh, you like it? I'm glad you like it, Dago. I was little nervous. I'm new at this video stuff and I'm trying so hard, but I'm my own worst enemy. I'm so hard on myself sometimes. If no questions, I guess I will go ahead and end this. Then, thank you to everyone that joined today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I mean, I'm seeing lots of familiar faces each day, and I can't thank you enough. But I guess I will go ahead and end this. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Arctic says read flyers. Okay, I'll read flyers. Is it okay with everyone else? You want me to just continue with flyers? Thank you, Dawn. I try. I just want to try to make a difference. I mean, there's so many people, so many families hurting. Really. All right, guys. Well, Arctic wants me to go ahead and read flyers, so I'm gonna go. Hi, Molly. Happy to see you. Oh, okay. No premiere. All right. I didn't want to. I didn't want to overstep. I really did. I don't mean to. Let's see if I can go back over and I'll share this. Let me get this out of my way, and I will go back. All right. It should pop up, hopefully. Okay. Okay. I went through Aaron, so we'll go to the next one. Thomas was found deceased. Found safe, located. Okay. Gretchen Zimmerman. He is missing from Alton, Illinois. Last seen September 30th, 2024. He's 52 years old, 5'7", and he weighs 120 pounds. He's been missing since approximately September 30th of 2024. He was last staying with some acquaintances in Morrow, Illinois, but was forced to leave after an argument, leaving all of his stuff behind. It's reported that he was dropped off in Alton, Illinois on Homer Adams Parkway. He is currently homeless and is known to travel on foot throughout the Alton and Bethalto areas. If you have any information about him, please contact the Alton Police Department at 618-818-0684. We have Herschel Lewis. He's missing from Chicago, Illinois. He was last seen February 26, 2025. He's 25 years old, 5'11", and he weighs 215 pounds. Herschel Lewis was last seen by his family on the 26th of February in Chicago, Illinois. He is considered high risk and is in urgent need of his medication. On March 1st, 2025, an off-duty officer contacted us after seeing his flyer online. She realized that she had interacted with him on February 27th between 8 and 9 a.m. at the Food for Less on 87th and the Dan Ryan, Chicago, Illinois. At that time, she was unaware that he was missing. If you have any information about Herschel, please contact the Chicago Police Department at 312-747-8284. We have Raquan Brown, missing from Michigan, last seen February 11th, 2025. He's 28 years old, 6 foot tall, and 170 pounds. His nickname is Red and was last seen on the 14th, which Valentine's Day, near the Olympic Broil. Witnesses reported that he had appeared extremely scared at the time they saw him. He was also seen earlier on February 11th around Gear Park at the Taco Bell on Northeast Street in Lansing. Sorry. Raquan is a mixed race male with several tattoos, including his name on his neck and additional tattoos on his forearms, wrists, and hands. If you have any information about him, please contact the Lansing Police Department at 517-483-6040. Excuse me. Next, we have Nikki Event. He's missing from Hickman, Kentucky. Last seen February 23rd, 2025. He's 47 years old, 5'7", and weighs 190 pounds. Nikki walked out and has been unreachable since, as his phone has been off. This whole entire time, his phone has been off. He does have a mental illness that requires medication, making his disappearance especially concerning. When he was last seen, he was wearing a green and tan Nike shorts, a cream or white shirt, black crew socks, and plain white Nike shoes. If you have any information about Nikki, please contact the Hickman Police Department at 270-236-2529. Poor Belva. This one I really, really was hoping for a different outcome. Belvedere was 95 years old, 5'2" and 60 pounds, and they found her deceased. Sarah Johnson is missing from Wyoming, last seen February 25th this year. She was last seen at her residence on or about that day, getting into a passenger car with an unknown female subject. If you think you see Sarah, please contact their police department at 307-721-2526. Save, save. Zachary is missing from South Carolina. Zachary Malinsky was last seen on August 25th of 2013. After playing basketball with friends in South Carolina, he dropped one friend off in Conway before returning to Anor with another, staying at a residence on 7th Avenue until 11:30 p.m. He then left to go get food and go home. His last known contact was a phone call shortly after midnight on August 26th. 8 days later, lost my place here. 8 days later, police found his car, a dark purple burgundy 1996 Chevy Beretta, burned in a wooded area off Valley Forge Road. He has not been seen since. In December 2014, Christopher Brown and Javon Gibbs were charged with his kidnapping and murder. Both were released on bond, but later rearrested for other violent crimes. Did I read that correctly? Christopher Anthony Brown and Javon Dion Gibbs were charged with his kidnapping and murder. Both were released on bond, but later rearrested for other violent crimes. Imagine that, leading to their bonds being revoked. In July 2023, the charges were dismissed after the court ruled cell phone data inadmissible, leaving the prosecution unable to prove its case. The South Carolina Supreme Court upheld the decision. Lewinsky's body has never been found. If you have any information about Zachary, please contact the Horry County Police Department at 843-915-5350. I didn't know we gave bail to murderers, but okay. Located safe. I love the located safe. Excellent. Here's Jacob. Jacob is missing from Eugene, Oregon. Last seen November 14th, 2017. He's 26 years old, 5'10", and he weighs 185 pounds. Wow, that other one was crazy. Okay, he has not been heard from since. At the time of his disappearance, he may have been riding a gray Granite Peak bicycle. He is a Caucasian male with brown hair, hazel eyes. He only has 4 teeth on the bottom front row. His distinguishing tattoos include a tribal symbol on his left upper arm, a Chinese symbol on the right side of his chest, and an additional tattoo on his left ring finger. He also has a scar on his knee. If you see Jacob, if you think you know Jacob, or if you happen to see him, let him know he's missing, please contact 541-682-4150. John Roberts is missing from California. He's 47 years old, 5'10", and he weighs 150 pounds. John Roberts, his partner Julie Englehart, and their daughter Brooke Roberts has been missing since October 6, 2019. In 2017, the family moved from Hesperia, California. Then they were staying at a Motel 6 on Cabana Road throughout September and early October. On October 6th, Julie spoke with a relative by phone, stating that she had secured a job cleaning used trailers for an unidentified business for the high desert area. She also mentioned that the family was in the process of moving to a location near Spring Valley Lake. Julie promised, Julie promised to call the following day, but never did. No one has heard or seen from them since. If you have any information, contact 760-947-1500. Hi, Phil. We have Julie. Julie's missing from California. This goes along with this right here. So the same story with John is also for Julie. I'll let you go back and take a good look at her too. The same thing, if you have any information about Julie, just as the other, please contact 760-947-1500. There's Brooke. Brooklyn Gunmanson. She's been found in Missouri. I'm super excited about that. found safe. That was great. We have Maya. Maya's missing. She's missing from Dundalk, Maryland. Last seen March 1st, 2025. She's 15 years old. She was seen at approximately 11 p.m. on March 1st in that area, and that is all the information they have given. If you have any information about Maya, please contact the Baltimore County PD at 410-887-7320. Bye, Phil. I hope to see you next time. Justin Brown is missing from Alabama. Last seen February 28th, 2025. He's 33 years old. He was last seen at the Greenleaf Apartments on February 28th, which was his place of employment. Justin told his boss that he was quitting to go get a job in Sacramento, California, but no one has ever seen or heard from him since. If you have any information about Justin, please contact the Russell County Sheriff's Office at 334-298-6535. We have Rosie. Rosie is missing from Louisiana, last seen February 28th, 2025. She's 14 years old. Rosie was last seen on that day at 91 Diana Drive at 2:45 a.m. in, I'm going to booger that, but it's a parish in Louisiana. If you have any information about her whereabouts, please contact 318-329-1200. Caitlin's found safe. Willie Hodge Jr. is missing from Sumter County, South Carolina, last seen January 23rd of 2019. He is 36 years old, 5'8", and he weighs 140 pounds. Hodge was last seen by his family on the 23rd of January 2019 when he had left his residence on Island Drive in Sumter County, South Carolina. Later that night, he was stopped for a traffic violation on Pinewood Road near Columbia Circle. During that stop, he pulled into a driveway on Columbia Circle and fled on foot into the woods, leaving behind his cell phone, his driver's license. He has not been seen or heard from since. He has several distinctive tattoos. Let's see if I can get down to it, including the letters N-T-A-B on his knuckles, street on his back, on the back of one arm, and dreams on the other. Bug life on his stomach, Sadie over his heart, and an image of a woman on his calf. If you have any information about Willie, please contact the Sumter County Sheriff's Office at 803-436-2000. We have Tiffany. Tiffany is missing from Dunlap, Tennessee. She's 42 years old, 5'4", and weighs 165 pounds. She was last seen June 13th, 2018. Tiffany Holbert was last seen at 6 p.m. when she went for a walk in her neighborhood. Something that she had did regularly. She took her phone but never returned. I guess I could make that bigger, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had that. There we go. I'm so sorry. Go back here. Okay, she was on surveillance footage from an ATM captured Tiffany getting into a red Pontiac sedan belonging to her boyfriend. He initially claimed he hadn't seen her in 3 months, but changed his story after learning about the footage, saying they had a disagreement. And he let her out before driving home. But when asked to show investigators where he dropped her off, he refused and directed them to his attorney. Red flag. He later provided a handwritten note, allegedly from Tiffany, instructing him where to pick her up that night, but police questioned its authenticity. Investigators also consider his mother a suspect due to the past conflicts with Tiffany, including a physical altercation that led to both of them being arrested. Additionally, a neighbor and his mother and former partner of Tiffany's are also considered a persons of interest. If you have any information about her, please contact the Dunlap Police Department at 423-949-3319. We have Lance Perkins. Lance Perkins is missing from San Diego, California. Last seen October 23rd, 2016. He's 43 years old, 6'1", and 180 pounds. Lance Perkins was last seen in San Diego. He lived in Anaheim, but was traveling to San Diego for work to cover Casa de los Calaveras. Ooh, I know I messed that up. An event coinciding with the annual Day of the Dead celebration. On the night of his disappearance, Lance called 911, reporting blackouts. He had experienced health issues before, and his mom had advised him to seek medical attention. He was transported by ambulance from the hotel to UC San Diego Medical Center in Hillcrest. Hospital records are unclear, but reports indicate he waited 3 hours in the emergency room. Some accounts suggested he left out of frustration, but others state he was officially discharged due to privacy laws. The exact details remain unknown. Surveillance footage captured Lance walking out of the hospital, but he had never returned to his hotel and he did not contact his mother ever again. In the hours of leaving, he made multiple 911 calls and attempted to reach two friends around 4 a.m. Neither friend had answered and he did not leave any messages. If you have any information about Lance, please contact their police department at 619 531 2000. All right, guys. I guess that's going to be it for today. I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you for joining Barb, Phil, Arctic, of course, Molly. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I can't thank you enough, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And if any of you are going live, please let us know now so that we can plan on going over there to watch you. Dawn, are you going live later? Arctic, anybody? Mom, is Mom in here? I don't see that anyone's saying anything. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining. And if you guys do go live, give me a heads up. I don't want to miss it. Oh, hi Peggy. I'm sorry you missed it. This one you may want to watch. Bianca's a pretty good story. She's a doll. But thank you so much for joining me, guys. Have a great day. You just remember, you can't change your story, but you can change how it ends. We as a community need to do better. All right, guys. Have a great day.
Does anyone understand? Does anyone lend a hand? When the silence starts to bite, will you join me in this fight? Can you see them in your dreams? Can you hear their desperate screams? A heartbeat lost in the night. Oh, will you help me be their voice? In the darkness let's rejoice, 'cause together we can shine a light. We'll raise our hands, we'll raise our hearts. Let's make a stand, let's tear apart the chains